Alright, let's start with this session, and this session is all about the sentence correction for the GMAT, and it's the class 1 for my GMAT verbal classes. So this class is going on Visic. It's a 40-hour class for the month of June. You can check out the details from freegmatclass.com. So let's move to the sentence correction, which is the topic of the class. Now, some good things about sentence correction is that the GMAT board sticks to the basics. It will not ask you like any of the things from the English grammar. There are some set of rules and some domains which the GMAT board prefers. The next point is that the answer is in a way non-controversial. So the answer is distinct, and there are many things which you can find out to eliminate the other options to get to the right answer. And the aspect that you have to find the best possible answer, which may be right, may be not right, we are not worried from that point of view. We are just worried that we need to find the best possible answer. So if we try to understand the rules of the game and we play accordingly, and we understand the reason and the logic of drafting those kind of problems that we have in the GMAT, we can very well tune ourselves. Okay, and not just this. When you are preparing for GMAT, you are going to have a clear and effective sentence making skill, and you will not make awkward, unnecessary, and unclear sentences. And if you have some, you will understand how you can repair them. So you'll understand the meaning of the wrong sentences, why and how they are wrong, and you can correct them. So that's an added advantage for the GMAT preparation in the sentence correction. So this series is I'm taking this series on Visic. It's a 40-hour online course. It's on the critical reasoning, sentence correction, and reading comprehension, divided into 3 stages. We are in stage 1. I am just introducing you to what we have in the sentence correction for the GMAT, and the reference for this session is Cracking the GMAT by Princeton and Verbal Workout by Princeton. So it's all about GMAT English. GMAT has its own logic. It's not like you have to study the entire English grammar, but you have to understand what is GMAT English and which things GMAT board prefers. Now it's quite different from what we hear and we speak. So we do a lot of things which are not correct when we speak English. So for GMAT, we have to understand what is GMAT English, how does the sets of rules of grammars exist for the GMAT English, this new world. Okay, so it's a computer adaptive exam GMAT, so the questions are difficulted on the order of difficulty, and the thing which is going to save us here is the process of elimination while doing the question, and you should practice with a scratch paper when you have it. So we have 5 choices. The best part is in sentence correction is that 1 out of the 5 questions requires no change. So be ready for those kind of questions which are kind of correct, and they don't require any change. Okay, one of the other mistakes which people do is that if they cannot find the right answer, they pick an answer which is grammatically correct but which goes out of the scope. So we cannot do that. We cannot change the meaning of the sentence even if the option is grammatically correct. So we have to stick, and we have to mean the same thing which is meant by the original sentence. So and then we have the almost right options, which are 2 to go, which sometimes require the idiomatic approach, and we'll talk on that. So let's check out an example before I talk about in details the type of questions and how to approach them. Let's look at this case. Registered brokerage firms have been required to record the details of all computerized program trades made in the past year, so that the government agencies will be able to decide whether they should be banned. Now when you write these kind of sentence, or when you put these kind of sentences in your papers or in your case studies or in your report, you should understand that it has got some ambiguity involved in it, because they are asking about banning something, and it's not clear whether the registered broker firm will be banned or the computerized program trades would be banned. So we have to remove this ambiguity, and we'll be able to decide whether they should be banned. So this ambiguity needs to be removed. So let's look at the option should be able to decide whether they should be banned, should be able to decide whether they can be banned. Again, having the same problem, the ambiguity problem is not solved. Then we'll be able to decide whether trade should be able to be banned, and we'll be able to decide whether program trade should be banned. So should be able to is not the idiomatic way, it's unnecessary extending the words, and should be able to is not the way in which we use the things. It could be should be banned because there is nothing. Able to means there is attachment of whether they can do it or not. They have the power to do it, so there is no question of able here. So we'll be able to decide whether trades should be banned is the right answer. It's talking about the computerized trade, which is made clear by this right option, which is the option E, which is the best option. Okay, so when we look at this case, it's actually talking about the problems that we generally do when we make a case study or when we write something, where we don't refer to the things in the very right way of which thing we are talking. So it's a lesson for us to keep in mind in the future also. Now many people are worried about what kind of grammatical knowledge do I need for the GMAT grammar. Now to solve this problem, I have divided this program into 3 levels, and the first level I would say would not require you to have any knowledge, and the first level in itself is very effective. So you just need to know what is noun, what is verb. So noun is a word that's used to name a person, place or thing, as simple as that. A verb is a word that expresses action. So Sue opened the box, opened is the verb, Sue and the box are the noun. An adjective is a word that modifies a noun, and adverb is a word that modifies a verb. A preposition is a word that knows the relation of a noun to an action or a thing. A phrase is a group of words acting as a single part of speech. So Sue opened the big box of chocolate. So big is an adjective and opened is a verb. So you just need a rough idea about these things, and no other great thing. We are going to cover each and every one of them slowly, and believe me, there is no part of English grammar that is built without logic. So everything has got its own logic. When we talk about the tenses, when we talk about the subject verb agreement, when we talk about the pronoun error, they all are logically and reasonably built in a way to make sense and give the right information to the reader. So it's not just about rules, it's about making things easy for the reader and giving the most accurate information. So let's look at pronoun error. Now even if you don't know pronoun, let's forget about this pronoun thing, and let's look at this question. While Brussels has smashed all Western Europe tourism revenue records this year, they still lag well behind in exports. So is Brussels a singular or a multiple thing? Now when we talk about like India is doing well, and it is doing exceptionally well in fact, so we are using it for India, whereas when we use Indians, means the citizens, we use they. So the problem with this one is that they are using they for a singular thing. Okay, so a non-living thing, a singular thing, we cannot use they. That's fair enough, because otherwise we would get confused whether he is talking about India as a country, as a single entity, or Indian as a group of people. So it will create problems at times. So this is what we call the pronoun error. Now pronoun is referring to this Brussels or this city, and it should be right enough so that we convey the very right information we would like to. Otherwise the reader might get confused what's going on, man, and he'll get in trouble. So the they things goes out and it comes in, and we are left with two options in the last year. It still lags. It lags still well behind, or it still lags well behind. So it still lags well behind is the right way to put it, because still comes before lags. We know that by our idiomatic knowledge. So in this year, and of course we cannot change the thing in the last year, so that's the hint, because we have no right to change the content of the passage, as I told you. So we cannot make the things in the last year. If it's given this year, then we have to go with this year, removing the pronoun error. So there are two big hints. Okay, so this is about the pronoun error. Then we have the misplaced modifier, the parallel constructs, the tense, and you don't need to know a lot about tense. We'll just talk in a very common sense way. And then we have the subject verb agreement, the idioms, and things like that. So no worries, we'll look at all of them slowly, and I'll build in some kind of logic so that you don't have to remember absolutely anything. It's just about understanding why things goes in a particular way, why pronoun error is creating problems in understanding, how modifiers creates confusion, how parallelism should be in the same ways, how tenses should be followed so that you can convey whether thing was in the past, or it's in the present, or it's in the future. So how to compare things and how to use the English language in the right idiomatic way. So it's all common sense, it's all based on logic and reasoning. It's nothing to do with memorization. It's about understanding to make language very clear, concise, correct, accurate, easy, comprehensible, and unambiguous, and removing the awkward part of the language. So it all makes sense, and it's going to improve our expression power anyway. So these are the kind of errors that we'll look into in this course, and we'll go in deep. We'll do examples of each error. We'll look at some of the grammatical aspects of how and why these rules are made. The text for this course is the GMAT books by Princeton, the Manhattan series, and the Verbal Review, two which you can also check out are Kaplan and Conquering the GMAT by McGraw-Hill. So these are also two nice books. So these are the set of books. The compulsory ones are the Princeton, Manhattan, and Official Verbal Review, which we'll cover in the course. So it's a 30-day course, 30 hours of online classes with me. I'll probably extend this course to a longer duration to the month of July as well. So you can check out that. So thank you for checking out this recording on sentence correction. I hope I tried to give you some encouragement to learn this thing with an interest and in a very positive way to actually gain something and improve yourselves over time. So for more details, you can check out my website. It's free, gregmatclass.com, or you can email me as well. Thank you for watching this recording, and best of luck for your GMAT.